Very good day, guys. Welcome back again. I am your host, Dr. Sachin Yadav. I hope you are doing all well wherever you are present now. So, in this video, we are going to learn about the attachment on the norma basalis. In previous video, we have seen the attachment on the norma occidentalis, lateralis, and the norma frontalis. So, here attachment on the norma basalis. Fine. So, can we start now? Very good. So, we'll see first. This is the hard palate. So here on the posterior border of the hard palate, it is giving attachments to the palatine aponeurosis, and in between them the posterior nasal spine here, and this is giving origin to the musculus uvulae. This is the palatine crest, which is giving attachment to a part of the tendon of tensor veli palatini muscle. The tensor veli palatini muscle on the palatine crest. Then the attachments on the inferior surface of the basic occiput are as following. So here you can see there is the pharyngeal tubercle. So this is giving attachment to the raphe, which is providing insertion to the upper fibers of superior constrictor muscle of the pharynx. Got it? Then the area in front of the tubercle here you can see. So this is forming the roof of the nasopharynx and also supporting the pharyngeal tonsil. And lateral to the pharyngeal tubercle, here is the attachments of the longus capitis muscle. And little posterior and medial to the hypoglossal canal here, there is the attachment, that is insertion of the rectus capitis anterior muscle. Now we'll see the attachment on the pterygoid plate. So first, the medial pterygoid plate. So what are the attachment here? So first we will see below the processus tuberis. Below to the processus tuberis, there is the attachment of pharyngobacillar fascia. So this tuberis, that processus tuberis, is a triangular projection present at the middle of the posterior border of medial pterygoid plate, and it supports the medial end of the cartilaginous part of auditory tube. Okay. Then the lower part of the posterior border and the pterygoid humulus, that is giving origin to the superior constrictor of the pharynx. Got it? The superior constrictor of the pharynx arising from this lower part of posterior border of the middle pterygoid plate up to the pterygoid humulus. Then the upper part of the posterior border, it is having the notch, which is produced by the auditory tube. Then the pterygomandibular raphe, it is attached to the tip of the pterygoid humulus at one end and to the mandible behind its third molar tooth at the lower end. Got it? Then the pterygospinous process, here you can see, is present here at the middle of the middle pterygoid plate. It is giving attachment to the ligament of the same name, that is pterygospinous ligament. Now we'll see on the lateral pterygoid plate. So on its lateral surface, you will see it is giving origin to the lower head of the lateral pterygoid muscle. So remember, the lateral pterygoid muscle is the key muscle of the infratemporal fossa. And on its medial surface, it is giving origin to the deep head of the medial pterygoid muscle. So medial pterygoid muscle is also one of the masticating muscle, and the origin of this is small, and the superficial head of this muscle arising from maxillary tuberosity here, and the adjoining part of the pyramidal process of the palatine bone. Then the infratemporal surface of the greater wing of sphenoid, here you can see, it is giving origin to the upper head of the lateral pterygoid. The lower head of the pterygoid was from here, lateral surface, and the Upper head is arising from infratemporal surface of greater wing, and it is crossed by the deep temporal and the mesenteric nerves here. Then the spine of the sphenoid, you can see it is related to the auricotemplar nerve laterally and medially to the chorda tympani nerve and the auditory tube. And it is giving attachment to the sphenomandibular ligament, anterior ligament of the malleus, and the pterygospinous ligament. And on its anterior aspect, it is giving origin to most posterior fibers of the tensor veli palatini and tensor tympani muscle. Okay. Then the inferior surface of the petrous temporal bone, you can see here, the levator veli palatini muscle is arising from this inferior surface. Now we come to the posterior part of the norma basalis. So first we will see on the norma, the foramen magnum. So anterior atlanto-occipital membrane is attached anteriorly, and the posterior atlanto-occipital membrane posteriorly, and the alar ligament from the dens of the axis bone, that is the second cervical vertebra, is attached on this rough medial surface of occipital condyle. Then the ligamentum nuchae is attached to the external occipital protuberance and the crest, and the rectus capitis lateralis is inserted into inferior surface of the jugular process. And on the squamous part of the occipital bone, we will see on the area between superior and inferior nuchal line, it is giving insertion on the middle side to the semispinalis capitis and on the lateral side to the superior oblique muscle. And below the inferior nuchal line, insertion for the rectus capitis posterior minor on medial side and rectus capitis posterior major on the lateral side. Okay guys, got it? Then the mastoid notch, here you can see it is giving origin to the posterior belly of digastric muscle. So all these were the attachments on the exterior of the skull. So we can stop here now. So guys, I hope you have got it well, and thanks for your patience and for your listening. So we'll meet again in the next video like this. Till then, thank you very much. Goodbye.